What's up guys, it's your boy Spiderwolf back for another Umamusume video. So today we're going over should you summon for the brand new wedding girls as well as the brand new support banner. Before you get started though, I'd really appreciate it if you could drop a like, comment, subscribe, really help me out trying to get to 2,000 subscribers before the end of the year. But with that being said, let's get into this. So as you guys do know, we do now have Mayano Top Gun wedding version or bride version in the game, as well as Air Groove bride version in the game. And we also do have a brand new support banner which has 2 new SSR support cards. But as a quick heads up, so if you guys want a quick answer and you want to get out of here as fast as possible, support card banner, don't summon for the support card. Oh, don't pull for the support card banner. The Hishi one is kind of bad. It's pretty bad actually. The Kawakami one's actually not bad. It's kind of good actually, but I don't know how long it'll be good for. But if you guys are interested for more details, stick to the rest of the video and we'll get into that. Now, as for the 2 girls here, Mayano Top Gun and Air Groove, literally like every other Uma character, pull for them if you want to. They're definitely not one of the more like meta ones that you want to get that are really good as like a parent or for the general racing or general races. These are more of like the general, like if you like them, pull for them. Otherwise, you can skip them perfectly fine. Support banner, like I said, in my opinion, I think you can skip this one as well. I don't think it's like super high value, but one of the cards is actually not half bad, and we'll get into all that right now. So starting things off, we got Mayano Top Gun here, Sunlight Bouquet. She leans more towards having more stamina, then it's going to lean towards wit, and then everything else from there balances out. She's going to be great for turf races, she's going to be great for medium distances, long distances, she's perfect for front style, pace chaser, and you can make her work as a late runner or an end closer. So she has a lot of variability. So she's kind of like Oguri Cap in a way, where you can kind of build it for almost whatever you want, at least when it comes to different styles of racing, right? And then she's going to have more growth rate of 10% for speed, more growth rate towards stamina at 10%, and finally more growth rate at 10% for wit. 10%, I don't know if I said that. And her unique skill here, flowery maneuver, increase velocity when passing another runner toward the front of the final corner. If passing toward the back, increases acceleration instead. So pretty cool. Literally saying that, yeah, if you want, do you have a different effect for the front as a front runner or a pace chaser, or different effect if you want to run her as a late or end closer. So pretty cool there. So basically, if she's more in the front, she's gonna keep that the velocity of the speed going, and then if she's in the back, she's gonna have acceleration that'll help her like speed up basically, which is pretty cool. Her potential skills here, these are based off Ascension, of course. She has focus here at 140 skill points, slightly decreases time loss of slow races. This one's also not half bad. We also have Mystifying Murmur, which disrupts runners directly ahead mid-race. It's 160 skill points. We have Corner Adept at 180 skill points, slightly increases velocity on a corner when skill turning. That's also not half bad, kind of like Professor Curvature. We also have Swinging Maestro at 170, recover endurance on a corner with efficient turning. This one's also pretty good, so overall pretty good skills. And then the next one we have here is Air Groove. Now she's going to be leaning more towards wit, but they're all like, most of her stuff is pretty balanced out. She's going to be great for turf tracks. She can work in mile as a B rank. You can maybe make her work in sprints, but it's going to be a bit more difficult. You can make, and then she's like great for medium. So she's mainly built for medium. You can make her work for mile. You can maybe make her work for sprint. It's just going to take a lot more effort to make her at least somewhat decent. Now her style, she's going to be great for the pace chase as a pace chaser, and she's going to be great for a late runner. And then she's not really going to be good for front running, and she's not going to be good for end running as an end closer. Her growth rate is 10% towards speed, 10% towards power, and then 10% towards guts, so not too bad. Her unique skill here, Eternal Movements, increase velocity when it's starting to make a move from a position toward the front mid-race. So as it says, well, this one leans more towards the pace chaser part, right? Because if she's more towards the front of the race, front mid-race, then she gets more velocity. But this can maybe work in late, as late runners, but at the same time, at least when I've used a couple late runners, usually they don't pull up until like the final corner, so this might be more useful as a pace chaser and not as useful if she's a late runner. So keep that in mind. Now our potential skills here, we have Pace Chaser Savvy, which literally goes right into the whole her wanting to be a pace chaser, moderately increased ability to get in a good position as a pace chaser, so this was more for maneuverability, but overall not too bad of a decent skill. Costs 110 skill points. We have Big Sisterly, it costs 120 skill points, increased passing ability for mile. This one's not how bad either. Helps your Uma kind of get ahead of passing other Uma, so not too bad. We have ramp up here, slightly increased velocity when passing another runner mid-race, also not too bad, works perfectly with her being a late runner or pace chaser. And then finally, corner connoisseur at 180 skill points, increased acceleration on a corner with masterful turning, basically like Professor Encourager, also pretty good. So honestly, not half bad. Now going in, we do have the support cards here. So this is the one I was talking about that isn't really that good. This one's like one you preferably want to either avoid or not really worry about building up, because it's not really going to be that useful, especially because it is a guts card, and we know how guts isn't really that great, but basically this one does give 6 cents, which avoid becoming surrounded early race as a front runner for a career event. And then we'll get into more of the other details of the support card on Game Tour. And then here's the other one. This is the one that's actually pretty good, that may or may not be worth pulling for, but at the same time, I think you can completely skip this one. I don't think you really need to go out of your way for this one, because from what I've been hearing, this isn't like one of those like main cards or main banners you want to pull for. But at the same time, from reading it, it also isn't half bad. So I think this might be like a, if you really wanted to, you can maybe pull for this one. But basically, this one has a career event where center stage, increased navigation, early race, kind of very similar to the previous one. And we'll go into more details as to all the different things that it does give. But starting things off though, or not starting things off, continuing things off with Mayano Top Gun. So let's look at more details on Mayano Top Gun here. So these are what her max stats here once you get her 5 stars. 102 speed, 123 stamina, 100 power, 110 gut, and then 115 whip. Went over this, yeah, her unique skill. And this is her innate skills, which we went over these. Then we have awakening skills here. Yeah, this is basically the same thing as the innate skills, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it should be basically the same thing, but I think this is supposed to be the buff version, maybe? Because it does say awaken. I don't know. This looks like it's the same thing. Yeah, it's the same thing. Okay, here we go. This is what I was looking for, the evolve skills. So these are basically like the different requirements to have certain skills. Once we send this, all your Umas, basically you have to do some requirements that are not really listed, and then those skills will be bumped up to the next level to be much more which is way better to use, right? So we have the first one here, Mystifying Murmur, which the original one, basically all it did was disrupt runners directly ahead mid-race for medium races. Now, the condition to evolve it is basically when ending G1 medium race 2 times or have at least 800 speed. Now, this upgrade turns into Snow White Whisperer, and then on medium races, if you are blocked from the front during the middle of the race, or halfway in the race, you will slightly tire out all enemies ahead of you, and your speed will slightly decrease. So basically, I'm pretty sure the way it works is that halfway through the race, if you're blocked, you'll basically be not really stealing, but you'll basically make anybody that is blocking you more like, slow or tired. They'll lose energy, and then you'll get a speed and boost with that. So that's also not half bad. Next one here, for Swinging Maestro, it turns into Barrel Roll. The conditions are basically have a fast learner status effect at the end of training, or have at least 600 stamina. The other condition is get at least 2 skills for medium aptitude, or get at least 2 skills for long aptitude. I think these are going to be based off of either the green skills or some of the yellow ones where it says specifically this is for medium, this is for long. I think that's those would be skills that I would assume would help you, or like would basically accomplish this requirement here. But basically, the barrel roll, what it does now is the upgraded version. At a random point during a random corner, your stamina will greatly recover. So pretty good. Basically, more stamina recovery when we hit a corner. And then these are all the different skills she does get from events. So she has straightaway adept, slightly increased velocity on a straight, pace strategy, slightly recover endurance when passed by another runner mid-race, straightaway acceleration, slightly increased acceleration on the straight, final push, slightly increased ability to keep the lead on the final corner, front runner. I guess that's not too bad because she can work as a front runner, so yeah, I mean that's not actually that bad. Okay, what else? So we have head-to-head leader during the first half of the final race, or the final part of the race. If you're in the first half of the pack, your acceleration will slightly increase. Slick surge, slightly increased acceleration late race as a late surger, and then straightaway spurt, slightly increased acceleration on a straight in the last spurt as an end closer. So she has a whole bunch of different things here that basically will work at different points, whether you want to run as a front, in the end, and as a late, whatever you want to do. Basically, there's at least one skill for each of those that she has here. And then these are going to basically be whole races here. So you have the general beginning junior make debut race. Then we have the second thing is have a requirement of at least 10,000 fans. Then after that we have the Kiko Show. Then we have the Army Kennen. Then the Hanshin Daishuten. Then we have the Tenno Show Spring. Then Tarazuka Kennen, and then Tenno Show Autumn, and then finally ending it off with Armina Kennen. So, these are basically races, same thing as usual. If any of these interest you, there you go. Now going on to Air Groove here. Max, full dupes to full stars. She gets 115 speed, 100 stamina, 111 power, 107 guts, and then 117 whip. And then if we go to her evolve skills here, we have Big Sisterly, which the requirement for this one, or the condition, is win any G1 mile race 2 times, so mind you, has to be G1 and a mile, or at least have 150,000 fans. And then you also have to get at least 2 skills from my altitude, which is going to be the green one, but the yellow ones may or may not be the ones you want to also get. Because I know some of them do have like mile or long included in there at the end. Or at the same time, it could be, I think there's even some blue ones that are recovery ones that do have it in there. But basically, as long as it has like a mile aptitude in there, it should count. And basically, the upgrade of this Big Sisterly turns into the Empress Pride. And when you go with this one is for any mile races, if you have any targets who will overtake you, your speed will increase. So basically, if you get passed by anybody, then you will get a speed increase. So that's pretty cool. The next one here, Corner Connoisseur, having charm status effect at the end of training, or have at least 800 power, and then get at least 2 acceleration type skills. This will turn into Crescent Moon, some leaner, I don't know if I can say that. Basically, at a random point on a random corner, your acceleration will increase and you'll receive a speed boost. Alrighty, and then continuing on forward here, we have skills from events. You get Homestar Chase, which is one I'm a big fan of, which basically slightly increased velocity in the last spurt. Go with the flow, moderately increased navigation late race, and then up tempo. Slightly increased positioning ability when positioned toward the front, mid race, medium. So it would work great as a pace chaser skill right there, or if you're a front runner. Now these are going to be all her races here. The usual starting one, Junior Make Debut. Then we have the Hanshin Juvenile Files, then the Oka Show, then the Japanese Oaks, then the Shuka Show, then Osaka High, Tarazuka Kinen, Sapporo Kinen, and then finally ending it off with Tenno Show Autumn. And then from there, of course, you do your UOA finals, right? But yeah, pretty good. Honestly, between the two, I feel like Mayano Top Gun is a bit better for what she does have. But at the same time, she's kind of like all over the place with like the skills from events here, kind of being like for, every single thing. So I feel like it's a little bit over the place. But at the same time, for Airgrew's not too bad either, and she's more concise for like, specifically, you mainly want to build her as a base chaser, but she can technically work as the, what was her other one? As a late runner too. So she does have some variability, but yeah, honestly, not too bad if you do want to pull for them. I don't know, like I said, overall though, if you're looking for meta, you probably find skipping them. But if you're looking, if one of them is your waifu or whatever, you really like them, then sure, pull for them. I don't think it'd be a bad idea. Anyways, from that, let's go into support cards. So we, like I said, the Hishi no Akebono one, that's not that good, but we'll take a look at what it does. So here it is at 0 dupes. This is what we're going to be getting if you don't pull any dupes for this. So unique effect amplifies the effect of mood when training together by 15% and then increase the frequency at which the character participates in the preferred training by 20. She gives a friendship bonus of 20%, hit level for 2 or hit level 2, hit frequency 40%, initial friendship gauge 20, training effectiveness 5%, and then specialty priority 10. Now at max dupes, we're looking at friendship bonus of 25, so it gets increased by 5. We get hit level 4, was actually pretty good, so that's an extra 2 levels. Hit frequency goes to 60%, so that's pretty good too. Initial friendship gauge now goes to 25, that's pretty useful. Training effectiveness is still 5%, specialty priority is now 20, so you get an extra 10 there. She does get one she does give 1 guts, and then she gives a mood effect of 30%, which amplifies the mood when you do training with her. And then basically these are going to be all her, all the ones she gives discounts to for all these different skills here. So we have Sunny Days, moderately increases performance in sunny weather. Hydrate, slightly recover endurance as a pace chaser mid-race. We have Sprint Corner, slightly increased velocity on the corner for sprint races. Final Push, slightly increased ability to keep the lead on the final corner as a front runner. Countermeasure, slightly increased passing ability when positioned toward the front mid-race as a sprint, or for sprint races. And then meticulous measures, moderately prepared to make for the finish line mid-race sprint. So basically like midway, halfway in the race, then you get like a, your Uma gets like ready to go basically. And then these are gonna, so yeah, these are the skills she's gonna be discounting, and then these are the skills that can pop up from having this in your deck. So yeah, skills from events, Sunny of Days, moderately increased performance in sunny weather. Hydrate, gap closer, slightly increased sprinting ability when positioned toward the back late race for sprints. Sixth Sense, avoid becoming surrounded early race as a front runner. Dodging danger, mildly avoid becoming surrounded early race as a front runner. And then sprinting gear, slightly increased acceleration on a straight for sprint races. So Honestly, not too bad for skills. There's a couple decent ones here, like the hydrate one's not too bad. The sprinting corner one isn't half bad either. I think final push isn't too bad either. So we had a couple different ones here that aren't too bad. I will say the hint level 4 sounds pretty cool, but at the same time, for like what it is giving you, you know, these skills aren't really like super crazy, except like a few that are like not half bad. So it's kind of up in there. But yeah, overall I could see why this one is not highly rated, but I will say the art does look very nice, so I will give it that. Now the card that's actually a lot better, we have Kawakami Princess here. It is a speed type card. We'll look at it as 0 dupes, of course. So unique effect increases a speed gain when trading together by 1, increases initial speed when beginning a career playthrough by 20. So you get an extra free 20 points for speed, technically 21, or you get an extra bonus of 1 when you do train with this card for whatever, you know, if you do your power, stamina, you know, whatever one the support card pops up into. Then she gets a friendship bonus of 25%, race bonus of 5%, always love that, fan bonus of 15%, and then initial speed of 20. Mood effect 20%, and then specialty priority of 20. Now at max dupes, we're looking at friendship bonus 30%, race bonus 10%, fan bonus 20%, initial speed 25%, mood effect 30%, specialty priority 35%. She gives a free power bonus of 1 when trading together, and then initial friendship gauge of 30 to basically help you speed up to where you can eventually, you know, get rainbows faster, and then choose whichever ones you want to go for skills. I mean for points, right? Now, these are going to be her discount skills. She gives a discount towards standard distance, moderately increased performance over standard distances, multiples of 400 meters. I'm still trying to understand how this works, so I'm not too sure exactly how good or how bad this one is, but I'm assuming it just depends on what kind of races you're running. We have preferred position, slightly decreased fatigue mid-race as a pace chaser, soft step, slightly decreased fatigue when moving sideways as medium, or medium races, tactical tweak, slightly increased acceleration when position toward the back mid-race as a pace chaser, so that one's not too bad either. I think these ones aren't too bad. Tactical tweak seems a bit better, but yeah, these aren't too crazy. These aren't screaming like they're like super crazy to me. And then these are the skills she does give from her event. So we have tether, slightly decreased velocity of runners ahead when positioned toward the back, late race, medium. That one doesn't sound too bad if you're building like if you're running a debuff deck or debuff Uma. Center stage, increased navigation early race. I mean, it's not too bad, I suppose. So you don't get blocked in early, but still. We have steadfast, slightly increased ability to fight back when passed by another runner on the final corner. This one's not too bad either. I'm not too sure why this one's rated a bit higher and supposedly is a bit better than some other cards, but I mean, it's not too bad. I think the support, like the discounts you get are like not that bad. As for the skills from the events, they seem okay to me, but I'm assuming maybe the reason why it's so rated up, which we'll take a look at the tier list, you know, so you guys can see too, but I'm gonna assume it's because of these right here, where you got a lot of speed early on, essentially, as well as the race bonus, initial speed, all these different things. I'm assuming that's probably what it is, because the skills overall aren't screaming like they're super great to me, personally at least. But yeah, looking at tier lists, I do have 2 tier lists here, so we'll be taking a look at both of them. So this one's going to be the, is this the global one or is this the JP one? Let me just double check. All right, my bad, guys. All right, I got it now. So this is gonna be the JP one. I did see on the Google Doc that they did say this one's a little bit outdated, but for global should basically be up to date for the most part. But we will also take a look at the global one, because that one actually is updated with the brand new cards that are just out in the game now. So right now we're going to look at the guts one for the Hishi one, and if we go basically based off of full dupes, 3 dupes, and then 0 dupes, Hishi is pretty much down at the bottom here. She's pretty much going to be, yeah, she's F tier at max dupes, and same thing with 0 dupes. So she's pretty bad. You guys can see she's down here, not that great, sadly. But if we do go to the global one though, same thing. She goes from 0 dupes is F tier, full dupes is E tier. So pretty bad, right? And then there's a couple other guts cards here, SR ones at max dupes that are way better at C tier, and even ones that have no dupes that are just way better, right? As well as the harder one still being pretty good. So yeah, you know, not really a card that's that valuable, to be honest, according to this. And this is just based off of like simple URA races. And then this other tier list here that I do have does have her at C tier at max dupe. So as like I said, not really a useful support card, not super crazy. There's definitely other options with the, you know, to use for if you really want to use guts, right? Now looking at the next one here that we have for speed, gonna switch these over. Here we go. So for JP, if we take a look, So taking a look at JP, mind you, this is like several years into JP, so there's going to be like a lot more cards that are power crept, so that's why some cards are going to be a lot lower, even though they are pretty good, right? Like, so like looking at taking a look at the brand new one, right? Like for Kawakami here, if we take a look at the tier list, 0 dupes, F tier, 3 dupes is also F tier. I'm pretty sure I literally just saw it, but basically I did see MLB's right here. It is at E tier. So yeah, and there it is. There's the 3 dupe one, also E tier. So, you know, not that great, judging by JP terms, right? With the several years of different like content, different like support cards, where like, you know, these up here are the better ones, especially the brand new one that actually just came out. I think. I actually don't know if this one's new, but you know, the brand new one that just came out, right? Staying in Love. But if we do go to the global one though, it does change quite a bit. So we do have the brand new one, like you know, we just mentioned Kawakami here. As 0 dupe, she's gonna land at E tier, so not that great. Basically same tier as Kid-san Black, where, you know, no dupes, basically kind of shit. But if you do get it at 3 dupes, it becomes A tier. It's actually quite good. It's basically on par, but slightly worse than Kid-san Black at 3 dupes. And then they are very close, basically on the same tier at S tier. Once you do get it to MLB, so consider it like another version of your you know, Biko Pegasus, your Sakura Bakushin. I don't know if it's better than Kid-san Black. I don't think so. I think it's just like on the same tier, like with all the stats and everything that it does give you once you do get it to MLB. But it is just like Kid-san Black, where you do need it to be MLB for it to be viable, but it can be somewhat viable at, you know, 3 dupes, but preferably you would want to use it if it's MLB. So just something to keep in mind. And then I have my other tier list here that does consider Kid-san Black as a double S tier, and then this one is the Kawakami Princess one is a S tier one, so it's still pretty good. But you know, Kid-san Black is better, right? It is better. But of course, other caveat: if you don't have any dupes, just like Kid-san Black, it is kind of shit. So you know, you'd rather just use SR cards at that point. But yeah, you know, that pretty much wraps things up. So with that being said, hope this video helps you guys out. Sorry for it being a little bit long. But good luck with your guys' summons if you are planning to, you know, summon for Mayano Top Gun here, or Air Group, or the support card banner. If it does interest you at all, just keep in mind that if you do summon on support card banner, make sure you do have enough to pity. Same thing with Uma banner. But overall, you could totally skip if you really want to. But with that being said, I'm gonna see you all later. Also, almost forgot, the last thing before I do leave here, with this banner, right? We do have this wedding event here, which is, if you guys don't know, this is like the long campaign event where you have to do career event where you have to do a bunch of career races for the point ladder, right? And where it has like the lottery system to get like the free support card, which, oh my gosh, I just completely forgot about that. Let me pull that up right now. Alright, my bad guys, I almost completely forgot. Yeah, this is a brand new story event with that brand new free-to-play support card. This is the main reason why you want to do a bunch of careers, so you can grab this for free at MLB, because this is going to be really useful, because it is a SSR card, right? You know, MLB, really useful. This is a WIT card. We'll probably just look at it at MLB, because that's what's more important. So we'll take a look right now. So it's a neat effect. Increase effectiveness of training performed together by 5%, increase stat gain from races of 5%, friendship bonus 30%, mood effect 30%, initial friendship gauge 20, not too bad, race bonus 5%, and kind of decent, fan bonus 10%, specialty priority 35, wit bonus 1 when you do training together, and then win friendship recovery 5, so you get extra 5 recovery when you do wit training with this card. And then support hints here, they're basically going to be all discounts. We get Kyoto Race Course discount, Sunny Days discount, Lay Server Surgers saving discount, Up Tempo discount, Steadfast discount, Up Tempo slightly increased positioning ability when positioned toward the front mid race as for medium races, Steadfast slightly increased ability to fight back and pass by another runner on the final corner for medium. And then these are basically the up 3 ones. Basically, you do have better performance for Kyoto races, for sunny weather, and then when you have a better ability to get into a good position if you're a late surger. Now, these are the game skills you get from events from this card if you do have it in your deck. The bigger picture, widen the field of view when hiding observation mid-race as a late surger, and then unyielding spirit, slightly increased passing ability for a mile. So, not too bad, it is decent. I did look at the tier list really quickly, but we'll take a look at it together right now. And it's kind of mixed between the 2 different tier lists here that I do have pulled up. Or if we do look at it, MLB, it is considered E tier, and JP, and then for global is actually considered B tier. I do find it odd that they consider this other card, Air Shakur, or whatever to be S tier, because at least from the other tier lists I've seen, this one's considered like a really horrible, not good, basically trash tier card at F tier. But this one they do consider it to be higher up. I'm gonna assume it's because the stats, because this is based off of URA, this isn't based off on stuff. So I think the other tier lists are just general, like for every piece of content. That's why that one maybe is more higher up than when the Air Shark is lower. But on this tier list, they do consider it to be B tier, but still not too bad. And it is a free card too, that is SSR that you can get MLB. And then on this other tier list here is the one I was talking about, where this one's actually considered a B tier card, but then Air Shark here on MLB is considered an E tier, right? So there is that. But at the same time, I think this one overall will be a good card to have because it's literally a free SSR MLB card, so might as well grab it, right? But yeah, my bad, guys. But yeah, with that being said, good luck with you guys farming for the event. Let me know how you guys' summons went. If you guys do plan to summon for the, for any of the banners. And with that being said, I'll see y'all later. Peace and take care, everybody.